excellent. Okay, so I'm Russ. I'm the,
Like you, Tony.
well, if something happens to you, I'm Tony. I'm the road foreman of engines here. What I do, my main job is teaching engineers to run engines. So we have our program. It takes about 4 years from the time you start as a fireman to make promotion. Not a guarantee, it all depends. You know, some people are better on equipment than others and get the knack of it. I'm working on, it'll be about 34 years that I've been here. So I'm getting to be one of the old guys. I have no idea how that happened because I still think like I'm in my 20s. So you're in the cab of 475. Why is the boiler back here so far? Because when it was built in 1906, the turntables, the longest ones were 90-foot tables. So if you put the cab on the back, it would make the engine longer and it wouldn't fit on the turntables today. So we have a 1906 engine and a 1950 engine. So, you know, the big difference between the two NNW engines. So on the back head here, way up you can see the steam gauge. So it was put to bed last night after our employee picnic and run. So you see it's got about 175 pounds of steam on it. The water glasses are on each side. It'll be a little hard for you to see, but when you get down you can see there's one. If you look up the engineer's side, and up here you can see the glass. The dark is where the water is, the light is where the water stops. So essentially, the water in the boiler is about here. Now you see this plug that says crown with a line on it. That's the crown sheet, that's the top of the firebox. So the water's over the top of the firebox, and then there's the air above. That's where the steam is. The driest steam is then brought into the dome and then run to the front to run the cylinders.
Oh, so that's where the problem was with 7002 and 1223. The two PRR engines you guys used to run.
Right.
I didn't know where the crown was, and I thought that was the problem with them. Was that?
Well, they didn't have any problems. It was just to the point where we needed to put a lot of money into them, and they weren't our engines. So that was,
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
But, I would take those two engines back in a second. They were wonderful to run.
Yeah.
All right, so here's our firebox. If you look at the firebox doors, they're butterfly doors, but note they have Strasburg Railroad on them. We've actually made patterns, so we make a lot of our own parts from our patterns, get them cast.
Oh, check it out, Bruce.
Okay. So you can see our bank there. See that big pile of coal?
Oh, yeah.
All right, and it's all coked up very nicely. Let me just sneak in between you guys here for a second.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You're clear? All right, thank you. So I'm not going to break the bank down right now, but if you look, I've got the bar under the bank. See that whole thing lifts up? Okay? And that's all nice, coked up, beautiful stuff ready to go. So what we're going to do, we'll dump the front of the firebox and get it clean on the grates, then put some coal up there. And then we break this down, take the long hook behind us here, and then we push that up, get the coal lit up there, get the front burning, and then we drop the back. So when I say drop the back, all this stuff here where the bar is now, that's all the ash. You don't want that in your fire when you start in the morning. We'll dump all that, coal the back over, and then we'll pull some of the coke and the newly burned stuff back. So that's wonderful stuff right there. Oh, that's all. Okay? So we'll be doing that in a couple minutes here. We were taking our time this morning because of you guys on the tour here. I wanted you to be able to see that.
That is really cool.
Now this is hot, so I'm going to sneak back through you.
I do not want to.
There you go.
All right, this is the blower. The blower is a ring in the smoke box right below the nozzle that the exhaust steam goes up the stack. So when you're sitting, you don't have any natural draft. So if I started to break that bank down and put coal in, everything's going to come back out the door. So we open this blower valve, and that ring around the nozzle sends steam up through. That creates a draft, so when we work on the fire, we can get that going. So that's this valve here. The engineers controls. I mean, you can't see a lot here, but that's the brake. This is the automatic brake valve for the train, the independents in front. You have your headlight controls. The only real modern thing we have, if you look up front, we do have a speedometer that we added in, which is not a 1906 project. To ride in there, we call it the phone booth. You flip the seats up, and away you go. These are feed valves. These control the brake pipe pressure for the train, and also the independent pressure for the engine brake. So, any questions for me while you're up here? So when you guys get down, we're going to finish our lubrication and then roll back over the ash pit and then go through that process I told you.
Oh.
That's a beautiful bank. Whoever put that in last night did a nice job. You never know what you're going to find, depending on what guys put it in or not, or gals for that matter. We have two. We have a woman fireman, and Andrea, your tour guide's one of our engineers. So it's not all guys anymore.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, any thoughts for me? Then I'm going to give you back to Andrea. Now, when you go down, you're going to go down backwards.
Yeah.
You've got your two grab irons there, so make sure you have a hand on each one, and then go down the steps, just like going down. Andrea will be there if you can't find where to put your foot. She'll help you out there.
Yeah, my uncle, he used to work here, Ellis Bachman.
Ellis.